Alright, what is up everyone, and welcome to week 1 of Fill of the Week. I am so excited to finally launch this program. It's been in the back of my head for a while now, so it's cool to finally make it happen. And again, this is totally exclusive for you guys subscribing to my email list. No one else sees these videos, no one else can comment on them, and let me know what kind of fill you would want to see for next week. So, with all that out of the way, let's just get straight into the fill that we have in our hands today. So this is going to be a quick little fill that I've been playing a lot over the last couple of weeks. I took a little break from social media, and during that time I spent a lot of time just kind of playing and just kind of finding my voice behind the kit again. And this was one of those little fills that just kept coming back, and it's so much fun, so I want to share it with you guys for week number 1. So, without further ado, let me just play the fill for you. I'll play it fast, slow, medium, and then fast one more time, and then I'll give you 2 examples of different kind of groove settings that you can play this little fill in. So, hope you enjoy. Man, it's just such a fun little fill to play. Like, I love the splash to floor tom kind of sweep motion going on. And I want to give you guys 2 little tips for you to keep in mind when you're practicing this. And the first tip has to do with that little sweep thing. So, since you're doing a sweep, you're not really playing a double stroke. Like, if you were playing a double stroke on the snare, for example, with your right hand, you would have the rebound of the snare working in your favor. So, if you're doing a sweep, you're moving from one instrument to another. You don't really have any rebound like that to work on between the strokes, so to speak. So it's important to keep in mind that you kind of manually have to do 2 strokes. You can't really just throw your arm out either and hope that it bounces onto the splash and then the floor tom, because what's going to happen is the floor tom stroke is not going to be very powerful. You want to make sure you hit the splash and then the floor tom, so it's not so much of a sweep, it's more like 2 solid hits. So what the point of that is, make sure you get a really solid sound out of the floor tom. When I was first starting to play this fill, what happened a lot was I was barely hearing the floor tom in the context of the fill. I wasn't hitting it hard enough. The second little tip is to keep in mind has to do with your bass drum, or with your right foot rather. For me especially, like, my hands and my head have always been kind of ahead of my foot technique. So for me it's still kind of an issue sometimes to get really solid and clear double strokes on my foot. So for anyone struggling with it's not kind of the same thing or whatever, it's important to keep in mind to try as hard as you can to really get 2 solid strokes with your right foot, especially for this fill where it's kind of, the whole fill kind of depends on being pretty solid. Like, you can't play it very sloppy. You really have to nail the dynamics, especially for the fill to have that impact you want it to have. That's true for every fill, but this one in particular, I found every time I play it and it doesn't quite come out right with the dynamics, the whole thing is kind of falls flat, I feel. So keep that in mind, keep the sweep thing and the double strokes on your foot in mind, and that will basically be everything I have for you guys today with this first week's lesson. So remember to comment in the comments below. Let me know what kind of fill you would want me to break down for next week. That could be a specific fill, like, hey, could you break down a fill at 3:15 in this song? Or it could be just kind of, hey, could you break down a jazz fill? Please don't, I'm not very good at jazz. But let me know your suggestions. Vote on the comments you like by leaving a little like on them. And if you have any suggestions for the format as well, how I could change it, make it better, maybe change the camera angles or something, let me know and I will keep that in mind for next week's lesson. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Take care, have a great day, and I will see you in a week. Have a good one.